Go.
Today in class we did percent changes. Watch this video to see how to work problems 4, 6, and 8.
So in class we said the way you want to set up every question is going to be the same format. So every question we're going to set up just like this proportion. The right side is going to be your percent number over 100, and that today is what we're trying to find out. The bottom of the first ratio is going to be the number that you start with, whatever the beginning number is for the story problem, and then the top number, you will not know that until you subtract the two numbers that it gives you, the starting number in the problem and the ending number in the problem. Please make sure that you subtract before you write down your top number. So the problems for today said estimate to find the percent changes. So in some classes we went through and we estimated all the numbers in the problem so everybody would have the same numbers. So for those classes who did not already estimate all the numbers, I'm going to go through and change them with you right now, and then you can go back and work out the problems. For number 1, we are going to change the 18 and we're going to change it to be a 20. So if you haven't already crossed out 18 and put a 20 in its place, please do that. We're going to change 24 to be 25. The reason I'm not making it a 20 is because if we did that, it looks like the baby did not grow. Question 2, I'm going to change the 7 to be a 10. And I'm going to change 22.5 to be a 20. Question 3, I'm going to change 51 to be a 50. I'm going to change 17 to be 20. On number 4, those numbers already end with zeros, so I'm going to leave them like they are. Question 5, we can change 135 to be 140. And then 80 is already ending with zeros. If you want to take off the ending zeros of $80 and just leave it 80, that would be fine. Flip over to the back. Question 6, I'm going to make 130 be 100, or 135 change to be 140. 120 already ends with zeros, so that's good. Number 7, 120, 420, those already end with zeros, so I'm going to leave those like they are. Question 8, I'm going to change 145 to be 150. And $166.75, I'm going to change that to be $170. Number 9, I'm going to change 2.5 to be 3. And I'm going to leave 6 the way it is now because 6 and 3, those are compatible numbers and they'll work together just fine. So if you didn't get all of the numbers changed and I went too fast, you can back up, press pause, and make sure you change all your numbers to be these estimated quantities. Now let's look at question 4. On question 4, we said we're not going to round these. We're going to keep them like they are. But because they end with 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, I'm going to simplify this question. And instead of making a really huge number like 100,000, I'm going to cross out the last 3 zeros and just pretend like it's 100. And then I'm going to cross out the last 3 zeros and pretend like it's 250. Now these numbers are much smaller and it'll be easier to solve the problem this way. So if you think about how we're going to set up our ratios, I'm going to have a percent on top, 100 on bottom. Then I'm going to decide what is the starting amount for the house. Does the house start at 100 or does the house start at 250? Hopefully you're saying that the house started being worth 100. So I'm going to put 100 on bottom. To get my top number, do you remember what we said a few slides ago? You should subtract the two numbers they give you. So I am going to have to subtract 250 minus 100. That's going to be 150. So my subtracted answer, that goes on the top. 150 on top, 100 on bottom. I don't know the percent That's what we're going to try and figure out right now. I can cross multiply, divide, or some people might notice what is happening. 100 is turning into 100. Did it change at all? It stayed the same. So basically, I multiplied by 1. So on my top, I'm going to do the exact same thing. 150 is going to stay the same, or I'm going to multiply by 1. So my final answer should be 150%. And it is okay to have answers over 100 because this house more than doubled in its value. So the answer to number 4 is 150%. Let's check out number 6. Okay, in number 6, we said we were going to estimate, and we were rounding number 135 pounds, and we changed it to be 140 pounds. So I'm going to set up my ratios. Percent goes on top, 100 goes on bottom. The starting value goes on the bottom of the other ratio. Does this person start weighing 140 pounds, or does this person start weighing 120 pounds? Hopefully you said this person started weighing 140 pounds. So 140 is going to go on the bottom. To get my top number, I'm going to subtract 140 minus 120. That's 20 pounds. This person changed their weight by 20 pounds. Now what I'm going to do is cross multiply and divide. If I cross multiply 20 times 100, that should be 2,000. When I divide, 2,000 goes in the box. 140 goes outside the box. 140 can go into 200 one time. When I subtract, I get 60. I'm going to bring down the next digit. That's a 0. 140 can go into 600. Maybe 4 times. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 4 is 16. Carry a 1. 4 times 1 is 4. Plus 1 is 5. When you subtract from there, you get 40. If I bring another 0 into the problem, I want to know, right now this is 14 point something. 140 can go into 400, I think 2 times, and that's it. That would be 280. Okay, this is going to keep going. Now, since we are estimating, we want whole number answers. So if I were to estimate 14.2, is that closer to 14 or closer to 15? Hopefully you are saying 14. So my final answer on number 6 is going to be 14%. Okay, let's check out number 8. Number 8 says a hotel room cost $145. We estimated that one and we rounded it to be $150. Then we also estimated $166.75 to be $170. All right, so now I'm going to use these. I'm going to set up my ratios. Percent goes on top, 100 goes on bottom. I have to decide, does this hotel room start out costing $150, or does the hotel room start out costing $170? Hopefully you're saying that the hotel room starts out at costing $150 before they put the tax on. So 150 goes on bottom. To get the number that goes on top, I'm going to have to subtract 170 minus 150. That is $20. So the hotel room changed by about $20. Now I'm going to find out what percent this is. To do that, I'm going to cross multiply. Again, 100 times 20 is 2,000. I'm I'm going to put that number inside the box. I'm going to divide by 150. Some of you have noticed that we have simplified the questions when we divide by taking off an ending 0. 150 ends with a 0. 2,000 ends with a 0. Now I'm going to divide 15 into 200. 15 can go into 20 one time. So I'm going to subtract 15. I get 5 left over. Bring down the 0. 15 can go into 50 3 times. 3 times 15 is 45. When I subtract, I get a 5 again. If I were to bring down another 0, I would still be getting 50. So this answer is going to be 13.3 repeating. Because this page is only on estimating, I'm not going to keep my answer 13.3. I'm going to ask myself, is 13.3 closer to 13 or closer to 14? If you said it is closer to 13, great job. So my final answer on number 18, I'm going to say the hotel room increased by about 13%. Okay, hopefully you were able to solve the other ones on your own. Remember, the last question says take all your percent answers for problems 1 through 9 and put your percentages in order from greatest to least. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks, Jarrett, for starting out the video. Or is 13.3